Welcome back to the review of Comstock's quarterly Stakeholder Perception Analysis Report. I'm Trevor Brucato with RBMG, Comstock's US-based investor relations firm, and I am pleased to have with me the company's Executive Chair and CEO, Corrado De Gasperis. Corrado will be providing a brief business update, and then we will be going through the results from the second quarter investor sentiment report, which covers the trends related to the company's perceived strengths, weaknesses, and milestones. The report is now live on the company's website at comstock.inc/investors. For those new to the story, Comstock has emerged as a leading innovator of breakthrough decarbonizing technologies that are now enabling the energy transition by delivering solutions that efficiently convert underutilized natural resources into renewable energy products. Comstock is currently commercializing three dedicated businesses: Comstock Fuels, which converts woody and woody-like biomass into the highest yielding, lowest cost or lowest carbon renewable fuels. As you'll hear from Corrado, those yields are still rising. Comstock Metals, which recycles end-of-life solar panels in Nevada with zero landfill impact by reusing 100% of the critical metals and materials. And Comstock Mining, which holds significant gold and silver resources in a historic, world-class, and target-rich district in Nevada, and is focused on expanding its precious metal resources and economic mine plans in conjunction with its investment in GenMat, which is a physics-based generative AI-enabled mineral discovery technology. Comstock Inc. is listed on the NYSE American under the symbol LODE, trading at about 16 cents with an average daily volume of about 1.3 million shares and a market cap of $22 million. Before digging into the report with Corrado, please note this discussion is being recorded today, July 16, 2024, and may contain forward-looking statements that are subject to risks and uncertainties that may be out of the control of Comstock and should not be construed as a recommendation or solicitation to buy or sell any security. For Comstock's full disclaimer, please visit their website at comstock.inc. Lastly, RBMG is not a registered investment advisor or broker-dealer. For more information on us, please visit rbmilestone.com. Now, with the housekeeping behind us, Corrado, welcome back.
Thanks, Trevor. Look forward to updating everyone on the business progress we've made and discussing some insights on our shareholder feedback.
So there was a total of 110 stakeholders who participated in the Q2 survey, of which about 92% are current shareholders. It's also worthwhile mentioning that 14 of the participants fall within the top 50 shareholders, excluding management and board members. Let's first discuss Comstock's weaknesses. So over the past year of constructing these reports, RBMG noticed that competition has remained one of the lowest submitted weaknesses, which perhaps speaks to stakeholders' top strength being your disruptive decarbonization technology portfolio. On the other hand, on the weaknesses side, the top concerns investors have remains Comstock's lack of contracts for revenue, credibility, and dilution was another trending, quote-unquote, other weakness.
Thanks, Trevor. The feedback it's very relevant and it's very timely. And we're well aware of what I would categorize as the foundational concern of most of our shareholders and its direct impact on the share price. I wouldn't necessarily characterize it as quote-unquote revenue per se, even though revenue is a big part of the equation. It's really the actionable monetization of our businesses. We have solidly transformed into a clean energy transition company, and frankly, the speed and magnitude that we have founded, launched, advanced 4 new businesses have been strong. What we have done and what we have proven to ourselves that we're capable of doing bodes well for our near and longer term future, as this type of success requires a tremendous amount of internal alignment, competency, focus, and investment, including the investments we've made in a network of technologies like RenFuel and others that you'll be hearing quite a bit more about. The value that we're positioning is well beyond what is even being conceived by others today, which is exciting. However, we're at a stage where investors are in a show me the money mode. Before they'll believe it, we need to show them. We need to cross the finish line, meaning They either want to see those revenues, as your report indicates, which, by the way, our solar panel recycling business now has, or better yet, even material asset sales, which we're also very close to consummating, or receiving direct investments into our operating entities at significant valuations, like Comstock Fuels, Comstock Metals, or believe it or not, even Comstock Mining. The good news is that all of the above items are progressing, with Fuels expanding its yields now and its customers' engagements beyond what I would have expected at this point. We have many, many, many customer engagements, and we're now engineering the first Fuels facilities and actively engage with those customers and strategic capital partners for investing into that business. Metals is accelerating its ramp up to industry scale. After just adding its second shift recently at the demonstration facility, while at the same time securing the larger facility and storage permits, and we're at the term sheet level on our asset sales. So for me, the credibility is a timing issue because we have the technologies, we have the system, and the executing teams that are delivering the money and the values people are really expecting to see, and frankly, hopefully beyond that. Look, overall, none of us are patient here, and we're working on this nearly 24/7. We really don't need any additional motivation as we're fully dedicated on making these businesses global leaders. We plan on announcing asset sales here in the third quarter, and we're very confident in getting this done. We're operating and growing revenues for metals on a daily basis, and as I already mentioned, we're gearing up the first major expansion while soliciting investment directly into our subsidiaries with strategic partners, especially for Fuels this year. It's all on track with the goal of credibly capitalizing, growing these businesses with an exponential growth profile, potential, and all that incredible value that will follow. To be clear, though, it's perfectly understandable to us that there's a concern over the commercialization of any serial number one in any industry. And the fears associated with that, the fear associated with it, is it even credible or not? We understand, right? But we are absolutely doing it in Fuels. We're absolutely doing it in metals. Some would say we've already done it in metals. And that's what this is really all about. Speaking of fears, we do not have any plans for a reverse split. We highly, highly value our NYSE listing and will continue building value. We'll continue building value, tech by tech, brick by brick, inch by inch. We understand the complexities and difficulties involved, and we believe we have developed multiple businesses and investments with tremendous potential value. But it's a high-risk process, and we have embraced it, and it takes time, and we'll continue dedicating 100+% of our energy and capacity to advancing and unlocking those values. We believe our plans are very robust and certainly sufficient for achieving the goals that we set up, and that's what we're doing.
Appreciate that, Corrado. Well said. Now let's move on to the company's perceived strengths from the stakeholders' perspective. So since we've been doing these reports over the last year, the company's strengths have mostly remained the same, with the top trends being disruptive portfolio of decarbonization technologies, as mentioned earlier, Comstock's historic gold and silver mining assets in Nevada, and the team behind you guys, the team that's responsible for commercializing your technologies and ultimately unlocking greater value for shareholders.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating, actually. The comment made earlier about people not really being focused on competition as a weakness, as an example, I think is not luck. It's not coincidence. We're targeting problems in the market that we feel are literally the bottlenecks of the industry, and we really feel are not being attended to by others, right? So I think some of that makes sense, but our technology, the strength that is acknowledged, is what inspires and energizes me like every day. In Fuels, We have exceeded our 100 gasoline gallon equivalent per dry ton performance, and we're working on an extension that will add significant improvements to that technology that we certainly already believe is the leading renewable fuel yields by nearly double the next best solution. And our customers are validating our samples, validating the quality, validating the yields, validating the CI score that puts us in that leadership position. These improvements that we're working on not only future-proof our industry, but they position us for the possibility, and I've mentioned this before, but it positions us for the possibility of cost parity with petroleum. As time goes by and as our development advances, we're feeling better and better and better about that incredible objective. That's something that none of our competitors are even conceiving. And we have the solutions right in our crosshairs. None of this distracts from our current process to commercialize our existing technology, our existing high yield, our first facility with the right strategic and capital partners investing directly into Comstock Fuels at that subsidiary level. For metals, it's not coincidentally a similar story. We believe we have the only scalable, let's say, industry scale solution for a market that is growing exponentially. End-of-life solar panels are expected to reach 1 million tons of waste by 2030, substantially all of it here in the Southwest region of the United States. And we're the only solution that can ensure 100% reuse of all of those materials. That is a zero landfill solution at scale. We can do this because of our proprietary delamination process, where we efficiently and cleanly eliminate all of the plastics, the glues, these nasty laminates out of these devices so that the glass is clean, the aluminum is clean, the silver, and we're getting lots of silver, and these other minerals, they can all be effectively and efficiently reused. Our technology differentiates our solution. So this is why I'm here. This is why our shareholders are here, should be here, want to be here. And it's really impossible to exaggerate the market potential for us and for our shareholders. Something amazing is also happening around all of this now, around this technology. The scientific community in the renewable fuel space is onto us, and they see what we have and they want to partner with us, first and foremost, on advancing the development of and the commercialization of our leading technology position. I mean, literally, from here in Nevada to Oklahoma to Colorado, all the way across the ocean to Europe, we're engaged with, and usually on an exclusive basis, with the global leading expert in the fields, locked up and partnering, right? And all this could do is, yes, expand our credibility, but way more importantly, expand on this foundational strength of our technology position.
Appreciate that. And, Corrado, let's transition now into the milestones. I mean, you address the weaknesses quite well, and there's obviously many strengths and a strong outlook here for the various disruptive businesses that you have. So when it comes down to the milestones, for those listening, just a side note, participants are only able to select one of these milestones that they're currently looking forward to the most. So as the end of Q2, fuels remains the top milestone, but investors are noticeably more interested during this quarter in seeing the sale of your non-core assets, which is now the second most trending milestone. Corrado, why do you think that is?
Well, look, first and foremost, let me say it rings very true, right? Those top milestones ring very true. We stand fully aligned with what we're hearing as feedback there. But to answer your question, from a company-wide perspective, and including me and my time, we're spending the substantial majority of our time, right, ensuring that we're securing the best, least dilutive capital resources for these tremendous opportunities that we position. So that means monetizing those assets. That means selling those non-core assets. While our team pushes the frontiers of technical and economic feasibility, and we've advanced the value of our assets across our portfolio, we are focused on selling those non-strategic assets. It simplifies who we are, it puts cash in the treasury, and it eliminates the need for us to issue equity at these lower levels. Full stop. That's where we need to get to. And those assets are not just the Silver Springs assets. Of course, those are the most material. And let me let everybody know, they're the most imminent, right? We're very, very close. But also some of those northern mining assets, right? We're not, we don't have the prospects and the potential with some of those northern mining assets that we have with the southern mining assets. So we're looking to really hit the nail on the head with that number 2 milestone, number 1 milestone. It doesn't matter how you look at it, we're fully dedicated. And we remain confident on advancing them this quarter, which will of course be announced as soon as they're executed. I want people to feel like we're on it. I want people to understand I'm personally on it, and I want them to know that we're very close. So we're excited about getting it done. We're excited about announcing it, and we're excited, frankly, about what the implication will mean immediately and longer term to our share price.
There was also an increased level of interest in your metals business, which makes sense given the recent milestone accomplishments throughout the quarter. So if you can go into perhaps a little bit more detail on your solar panel recycling facility.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that feedback. And, I'm glad to hear that feedback in part because I would be honest that I was a little disappointed, when we first announced, the startup of this facility, that we didn't get more of this feedback, but it feels like it's coming now. Look, Metals is up and running, and they just signed the lease for a massive industry scale facility on the very, very same campus as the demonstration facility. And they've received the county permit that, among other things, allows for immediate storage, which when you're getting paid an upfront tip fee, the storage permit means everything from a financial perspective. And we're facing a massive growth curve with no recognizable competition in sight yet. So we need to keep our early mover advantage and get more of these industry scale facilities up and running across Nevada. We're lining that California border so we can position ourselves to capture the substantial majority of this entire Southwest region. And look, let me just summarize it this way. Cash up front, 80% margins, 100% reuse of all the materials, representing literally a one-of-its-kind zero landfill solution. It's the best throughput model that I've seen, and I honestly don't know what there's not to like about it.
Agree, Corrado. And, Comstock Metals seems to have a strong competitive advantage on its ability to recover various materials, including an attractive commodity like silver, just to name one. With the increase in pricing on that front. One might categorize your metals recycling business as urban mining, or a modern way of mining for valuable materials. So let's transition here. I mean, Corrado, based on investors' perceived strengths and continuing on that, Comstock's traditional gold and silver mining business, remains a top trend. I think it's number 2 here. How's the mine plan coming along, and any commentary on advancements as it relates to GenMat?
Yeah, no, thank you. Before I say that, I just want to compliment what you said. The one surprise, very, very pleasant surprise on our side with the metals business was the higher grades of silver that are concentrating out. So who'd have thunk, like having 2 Comstock entities producing silver, it's really, we're giddy about it, and people are going to be very happy when they start to see these results pouring out literally. From a mining perspective, a lot of new interest. First, let me start with GenMat. GenMat's building a geophysics-based AI. I mean, that complements their existing physics-based AI, their existing chemistry-based AI. This is geophysics. They're doing it with our team together, and the benefits, frankly, will ultimately transcend the Comstock. The satellite scan and imagery that we're looking to acquire and add to the model will supplement the tremendous amount of geologic data that we already have. and that we're already building into this geophysics-based machine learning AI. So it's all very positive. The only thing I would caution is that we shouldn't be looking for, no pun intended, like a silver bullet here, where we already have a massive amount of silver in the ground. We already have a significant amount of geological data, and our prospects are remarkable. GenMat will absolutely add to that equation. But GenMat, really what we're doing together with them is building a whole new capability, proving it on the Comstock, proving it on the best possible place where you have so much existing data already to move that ball forward. But if you just turn to our existing assets, frankly, with gold blasting through 2,400 and silver demand finally seeming to outstrip supply and rapidly pushing these silver prices up recently from the low 20s for God knows how long to well over $30 an ounce, we couldn't be in a better position with our existing assets. We've already received an increased amount of interest relating to investment opportunities into our mining subsidiaries from third parties. More substantially, and maybe more importantly, we've updated our preliminary engineering of our date and mine plan to a remarkable effect. With a minimum of over 250,000 ounces of gold resident there at the Dayton, every $100 alone in increased gold price could add about 20 to 25 million in cash generated from the mine. We also have over 800 acres of private lands that should have significant valuable post-productive uses. So we're building a very high value mine, and we're building a very high value post-productive mine use of that real estate.
Thanks, Corrado. And, as these businesses continue to advance, metals now generating some revenue here, and that looking to be ramped up in the near term and onward, as well as the asset sales, it would be worthwhile reiterating to all that Comstock has about $225 million in net operating and other tax loss carryforwards that will shelter gains from sales of assets and future profits.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's well worth reiterating. I would like to, let me just compliment what you said, and maybe this is even more for some of the new investors that we've been talking to, because I know some of our existing investors know this very, very well. Our mineral resources, the gold and silver ounces that we have validated in our technical reports, are not on our balance sheet. They're not on our balance sheet. Those numbers and those values are not there. The net operating loss carry forward, those deferred tax assets, if you will, 225 million of tax sheltering going forward, they're not on our balance sheet. They're on our balance sheet, but they're valued at zero. We've reserved them fully. So there's a number of hidden assets. Those are two big ones.
Corrado, I'll put the ball back in your court for any final comments to conclude with.
Thanks, Trav. Yeah, no, well, look, as I mentioned in our shareholder letter, and I said earlier, in this discussion, we're extremely close on asset sales. And we're also closing in on some direct investments into some of our commercializing subsidiaries. This isn't luck either. We now have business plans that are fully baked, meaning not only do we have the plan, we've validated and have underlying validation and support for those underlying plans, be that the yields, be that the quality and specifications of the fuels, be that the 100% ability to renew all of the recycled materials, and institutional quality models that support those businesses and incredibly high valuations. So, somebody investing directly into our subsidiary now is timely because we hold up to all diligence, right? And then that isn't just the money that's coming in, which of course will be very powerful for our enterprise, but it's the strong validation that comes with those partners in that capital, expressing our leadership position and expressing the value of our technology explicitly. So you can definitely expect to see a series of advancements and transactions announced in fuels, in metals, in mining, and believe it or not, even in Comstock Innovations, as they're all advancing and enhancing us towards our goal. The nature and types of companies and the nature and the types of partners that we're working with continues to grow, and it will establish I feel like it's already established a world-class technology and commercialization platform, but it's just going to get better. I'd also like to thank you guys personally, right? And those shareholders who participated in this survey. It is meaningful to hear specifically. It keeps us in check, right? And we're gaining new investor interest every week. And we look forward to hearing from more of our existing investors following our Q2 earnings call, which is coming up in just a few weeks, and also discussing the results of the Q3 investor feedback, which should come in early October.
Thank you, Corrado. And to all Comstock followers, we appreciate your support, your patience, and your participation. We look forward to keeping you posted on the progress here moving forward, and gearing up for the Q2 call towards the end of July, early August. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at ir@comstockinc.com. Again, that's ir@comstockinc.com, or we can schedule a call in the bottom of the Q2 report in that module. Thank you, and talk to you soon.
Outstanding. Thanks, Trevor.